Just because you're not how somebody used to remember you being also isn't your fucking responsibility. Just because you change does not mean that you have to fucking regress back to who you used to be to make that fucking person happy.
And that's like, we've kind of talked about the friend that I'm no longer friends with, but that's where she had this idea.
I feel with my mom. My entire family, actually.
Yeah, they have this idea of who they remember you being, but you've grown up, you've excelled, and you've met yourself where you're at now. And sometimes it's hard for other people to reconcile that, but that's not you. That's not a you problem. You did what you needed to do for you to get where you're at and be comfortable in your own skin or be wherever you're at on your mental health journey. It's not your fucking problem that they can't reconcile that. That's not your responsibility.
Yeah, the last time I spoke to my mother, she said, it's like we don't even know you anymore. And it's like, well, gee, A, that's not an accident. I don't want you to. B, you don't, because I went through a lot of really intense fucking crazy, for lack of a better word, life shit in 5 years. I had to beg my parents to come visit me in Puerto Rico. It took me almost the entire 5 years I lived there. They came for Thanksgiving right before we moved back. You have a child that's willing to fly you 2,400 miles round trip for free, and you don't want to go visit the island that they live on? Like, that hurt my feelings, and that's when I started to pull away.
It does hurt.
Like, when they told me that they didn't want to come visit me, I was like, okay, fuck you.
Well, that had to have felt like rejection.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God, I was fucked up about that for weeks.
Yeah. There have been several times in my life where not quite on that scale, but you know, I wanted or expected or, you know, whatever, someone to show up and they didn't. And that shit hurts because then on the other side of the coin, I had an expectation of them to be something that I wanted them to be. And that's, while we're on that, like working through that shit, because it does go both ways. Like I had ideas of what I thought what I thought my parents should be. Mm-hmm. And like reconciling the fact and coming to and accepting the fact that they are who they are. I don't have to fucking like it, but accepting that and forgiving them for me was freeing. And so I think about forgiveness a lot. And it's kind of flipped for me in my older age. But forgiveness in my mind is not for anybody else but me.
Yeah.
It's for my own fucking peace. I forgive you because I have to come to terms with and peace with whatever the fuck you did, said, didn't do, what the fuck ever. Because if I don't, that can wreck me.
Yeah, and you don't ever have to tell somebody that you forgave them.
You can. Forgiveness doesn't have to be spoken.